Prendre is an extremely common verb irrégulier. It gets used all the time. In fact, if you were living in France, you would use it every single day because it literally means to take. So we can use this in almost any sense that the word take is used in English. So if I want to say something like, I take the bus to school, or you need to take your MacBooks home with you, or anything like that, in French we're going to use the verb prendre. However, it's even bigger than that because it also means to have, to eat, and to drink when you're discussing food or drink, obviously. So for example, if I say, je prends du café, I'm literally saying I'm taking coffee, but I can also translate that as I'm drinking coffee, or I can translate that as I have coffee. All three translations work. And in fact, we're more likely to go with drinking or have just because it makes more sense in English. If a literal translation isn't the way you would say it in English, we typically don't bother with the literal. So why do we bother to have prendre when we already have verbs for eat and drink, manger and boire? Well, prendre is used this way in order to have a connotation that you are eating or drinking this thing habitually. So connotation means it's not actually part of the definition. If you were going to look prendre up in a French dictionary, the definition won't actually say anything at all about it being a habit. But because that's the way people tend to use it, that's the impression that you'll give people by using prendre instead of manger or boire. So, for example, say that I eat an apple every single day. And I just ate my apple, and you're asking me, oh, hey, what are you eating? I'm most likely, in French, to say, je prends une pomme. I habitually eat this apple. I'm eating it now. It's a really common, normal thing that I usually do. If I don't normally eat apples, but that's what I'm doing right now. So maybe I don't like apples, or maybe I just don't have them very often for whatever reason, but I'm eating one and you're like, hey, what you doing? I'm a lot more likely en français to say je mange une pomme. Yes, it means the exact same thing as je prends une pomme, and you can use both verbs interchangeably. Nobody's going to call you out for being wrong if you flip these around. And everybody will understand what it is you're saying. But a French person hearing je prends une pomme, they're likely going to think that it's probably a habit. And if they hear you say je mange une pomme, they're probably going to think that it's likely not a habit and that this is unusual for some reason. So we discussed really briefly the fact that prendre is irregular. However, it's what I call my not very irregular. Unlike verbs like aller, faire, être, avoir, etc., where every single form is completely independent of the others, the irregularity in prendre just comes from the spelling of the stem. The endings are regular RE endings, which are, of course, SS nothing, ONS EZ ENT. Only the stem is going to change in prendre. So your singulars are the exact same as a regular RE verb. Drop your RE and add SS nothing. Je prends, tu prends, il prend, elle prend, on prend. Nous and vous drop DRE before adding their endings. Nous prenons, vous prenez, within PREN as the stem. And il or elle drops the DER and then throws in another N for the fun of it before adding in the ENT. Ils prennent, elles prennent. You'll notice that you don't actually hear the D on any of it. Je prends, tu prends, il prend, nous prenons, vous prenez, ils prennent. However, we have to write it in the singulars because it is a part of the singular stem. We just don't write it in the plurals because they drop those for whatever reason.